It's games like these that make me happy to be a reviewer, cause all I gotta do is say, I like this, and then you're all good. Who knew that all these guys with their ludonarrative dissonance and lore-filled stories about the death of society through the abuse of those in power ain't shit, cause you could just say, I like this. Anyway, the Entropy Center was good. It was really good. I really liked the Entropy Center. It made me realize that little colon smiley faces can not only be cute, but also ominous and foreboding. Of course, that's not the main draw. The main draw is the puzzles and the surprisingly good story with an intense message that's as sobering as it is depressing. And it all wrapped itself up relatively well, but it also deals with time travel. Time travel can be like dumping a plate of pasta in your lap and trying to find both ends of the same strand at the same time. It's messy, and the waitress serving me starts to look worried when I think I found a coherent line of reasoning. Or fettuccine. I'm gonna start with the gameplay and keep it short. It's really good. To keep it a little longer, it's a puzzle game involving using your ability to warp time. Specifically, 90% of the time you're warping cubes back in time to either walk or jump or what have you across them. Or have them activate buttons, or maybe have them block a laser. It's all puzzles involving that, and it adds mechanics slowly to add more and more depth to every puzzle. My little piece of advice is start where you want it to end. That's what got me through a lot of puzzles when some of them kind of felt overwhelming at first. And a way it breaks this up is by reminding you that there's story by adding little timed events where you're almost drowned to death. You seriously almost drown to death like 3 to 4 times, excluding when robots start firing explosives at you. But those sections are pretty simple, so I'm just barely gonna even touch them. Since I've been playing up the story a little bit, you are a woman who wakes up with little to no idea of where you are, with robots telling you to go do tests and... oh wait, that's Portal. In Entropy Center, you're the same thing. It's pretty similar with its story, but there's one big difference. The robot voice telling you to do tests isn't trying to maim and kill you. Actually, they're quite friendly, which you'd think would put a serious damper on things, but also, by the way, Earth blew up and you're the only one who could fix it, so there's still a bit of pressure. You're in the titular Entropy Center. It's a self-sustained science center with a big screw-off laser pointed at Earth. The laser in question is a big version of your time rewind gun. Its purpose is to rewind Earth up to 5 years to help prevent catastrophe, from bees going extinct to asteroids to, oh, I don't know, let's say, for example, Putin gets a little trigger happy, and in his attempt to win a war he had no reason to start, and by all logical reasoning he should be winning, but he's fucking it up so royally, so he decides to, you know, blow up half the world or whatever. You know, fictional stuff. The Entropy Center would then rewind the cataclysmic event about 5 years and send data to Earth so that they can avoid the conflict. That's where Arya comes in, as she finds herself the only person on the station without memory and coworkers. The only companionship is a magical gun that can rewind certain objects in time. Also, you know, the Earth is blowing up, so you gotta fix the reactor and unblow it up. There's a fair bit of pressure. No actual time limit or anything, of course, but every so often the explosions caused by the destruction of old Mother Gaia cause the entire station to shudder, so maybe keep things moving and stop reading the 30 terminals with cat stories on them. I really like this game. I don't want to spoil it, but to finish, I should really talk a bit about the ending and the spoilers, so I'll put up a warning here. You could probably skip the rest because I'm going to be recommending this game for any puzzle enjoyer. And if you don't enjoy them but still are curious, maybe just watch some guy on YouTube play them, I don't know. Last chance, I'm spoiling. Like and subscribe, then leave. Or watch the rest, then comment, that'd be cool too. So, the spoiler is that Arya has actually done this several times before. During one segment, Arya sees these black specters, who turns out are all previous iterations of her going through the same motions. Finding the time gun, doing puzzles, seeing the world end, and trying to fix it. It foreshadowed pretty well, and with the way I was playing, looking through windows for terminals to read up on, seeing the movement in the corner of my eye, turning quickly to see it, but it's gone. It's all brought about to a climax when you go through a door and end up in the same hall PT style, where you see what is supposedly your office and you go through it, with more and more messages popping up. each saying you've been here before, with hundreds of tally marks on the floors and walls. It's really dark. You end up realizing you've done this hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 or so times before, each time waking up at the end of the world. You've single-handedly witnessed, prevented, and partially caused the end of the world. In a lot of ways, it's important not to give up, especially when the stakes are so high. But when there's nothing you can do, it may be better to give in and accept the inevitability. Entropy is defined as a lack of predictability or order. The issue here is that the events have played themselves over and over again. You know how this ends.